China's Christmas miracle and what it means for robotics. The first story in today's People program is as fantastic as it is true. It's called China's Christmas miracle. What this meant for robotics and automation is truly incalculable. Funny things happen when you give people hope. This is a story about hope. The central thoroughfare in Beijing, the main drag, is named the Street of Eternal Peace, or in Mandarin, Chang'anji. At Christmas time in 1978, the operative words on Chang'anji Street were not eternal peace, but rather eternal poverty, utter poverty. In 1978, 88% of China's population, after a day of brutally hard work, each worker made less than $2.60 a day, no more than $300 a year. That meant that in 1978, 88% of all Chinese went to bed poor and got up the next morning without any chance to be anything other than poor. And their children, they were looking at a future of no better than being like their parents, poor. Then it all changed. On December 18, 1978, at Beijing's Hotel Jingxi, all of that grief and hopelessness would be forever changed for the better. In 1978, the road to modern China was about to be born. The same modern China that the International Federation of Robotics reported 168,000 industrial robots were sold in 2020. That's 3,500 industrial robots each and every week. In 1978, China bought zero. The architect of that magnanimous Christmas moment of birthing modern China on the 18th of December was a diminutive guy named Deng Xiaoping, about whom Henry Kissinger said, "I developed an enormous regard for the extraordinary little man with the melancholy eyes." Melancholy, as Victor Hugo once described it, is that twilight state in which suffering transmutes into a somber joy. On a gray December day, the man with the melancholy eyes announced what is today known as China's Christmas miracle. Into this impoverished land and its woefully impoverished people, he said, "We need large numbers of pathbreakers who dare to think, explore new ways, and generate new ideas. Otherwise, we won't be able to rid our country of poverty and backwardness, or to catch up with, still less surpass, the advanced countries. To walk with giants, you must be a giant, a quiet giant, but still a giant." He proposed that China learn from the example of other richer countries, allow workers and peasants to vie, to get ahead, so those with a better standard of life would inspire others to work harder. And he proposed that provinces and enterprises be given the power to make decisions and try new things. Take Haier, for example. You know them. You see their logo on the back of air conditioners sticking out of people's windows. Well, they're a very successful home appliance manufacturer in China. When Deng entered the hotel that day in December of 1978, Haier was an unsuccessful, state-run company making refrigerators that never worked. Zhang Rumin took it over and built it into an international colossus, which last year had a revenue of $38 billion, and along the way even bought GE appliances. What has transpired in China ever since 1978 is more than astounding. It's never been done before. In all of human history, no matter how big the country or how large its population, it's never been done. It was, in effect, Roosevelt's New Deal, the Marshall Plan, Eisenhower's interstate highway system, Kennedy's New Frontiers, and Johnson's Great Society, all rolled into one massive mega-project for 1 billion-plus people. It's simply astounding. In the 3 years, 2011 to 2013, China used more cement than the U.S. used in all of the 20th century. 6.6 gigatons. No one knows what China might look like today if that Christmas gift had not been delivered and opened in 1978. We may have on our hands an epic-sized North Korea with accurate ICBMs. One thing for sure is that the International Federation of Robotics wouldn't be gushing over the tens of thousands of industrial robots sold in China every year. It said that China, by 2050, will have in operation more industrial robots than the rest of the world combined, something like 9 million. Poverty in China has gone from 88% to less than 6%. China now has a brand new middle class of over 500 million people. That's a middle class larger than the entire population of Europe. Ezra Vogel, author of Deng Xiaoping and the Transformation of China, said of Deng, who in the 20th century had more influence on more people? Deng did what China had been trying to do for 150 years and couldn't. For the full story, please see the free PDF download at This Is Robotics page at Asian Robotics Review. These days, on the Street of Eternal Peace, or Chang'anji, everyone is feeling a whole heck of a lot better about themselves than in 1978. Merry Christmas, China.